Yo, what is up, you sexy ass motherfuckers? Welcome back to yet another Total War League Siege battle. This is going to be game number 2 of the Off Meta Incorporated versus the Raven Revolution, still on the same map. This time it's going to be Off Meta Incorporated on the defense versus Raven Revolution on the attack. This battle is insane. I've heard so many things about it, and I'm very excited to be able to watch it. Guys, make sure you grab something to drink, something to eat, go jerk off a quick one, call your grandmother and tell her that you love her, preferably not while you're jerking off a quick one. Do whatever you guys gotta do. If you guys like this battle, make sure to hit that like button. If you guys love this battle, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And furthermore, let's go ahead and get right into the battle. So we've got 4 different factions today. We've got Nabatea, Macedon, Lusitani, and I believe we have the Odrysian Kingdom as well. Go big or go home, or at least that's what the defenders are going to say. And we have a little bit of a sally out right off the bat here. 2 Iberian cavalry outside of the city walls, ready to get some kills, do some damage, and put in the work against the attackers. Let's try to quickly go over the attackers' army compositions before anything crazy happens. We've got Macedon bringing in a unit of Thessalian cavalry. We've got I believe, yep, there we go, it's right in front of me, a Royal Peltas general. We've got not 1, not 2, but 3, there it is, 3 mercenary Cretan archers, 1 unit of light peltas, and 1 unit of mercenary Rhodian slingers. We've got plenty of thorax swordsmen, and I do believe that's it, other than the couple units of Thoreo spears as well. Looking over at Nabatea, we've got a couple units of cav. We've got an armored desert cavalry, a desert heavy lancer. We've got some Nabatean swordsmen, plenty of armored desert hoplites, 4 units of Nabatean heavy archers, and then a Nabatean noble cavalry general. Definitely some cav play brought into today's battle. It is certainly going to be an interesting one. But yes, Lusitani and the Odrysian Kingdom, we cannot currently see their armies because this replay was sent by the defending forces, so it does not show us the defenders' army compositions, but we will get to it as soon as possible. We got the Thoreo spears moving up a tower, trying to scout out the area, making sure it's clear, so that way the other unit of Thoreo spears and the unit of thorax swordsmen can move in and start breaking down the walls. Sorry about that, guys. My nose is all blah and weird today. Iberian cavalry going to be on the move. We got the Thessalian cavalry falling back towards their troops, just trying to be able to get some support here nearby. We've got the Iberian cavalry not caring at all. The Thessalian cavalry is in a great position to be able to charge in and do some work. And the Iberian cavalry knows this, so they're going to go ahead and fall back. Or are they? They're going to continue to tease the Thessalian cavalry, kind of go up, pretend to charge in. Thessalian cavalry is going to try to charge them. Thessalian or Iberian cavalry is going to go ahead and fall back before they're caught, and they just barely miss them. 80 out of 80 men remaining, and these guys do not care. It looks like the Iberian cavalry is just trying to utilize their ammunition to the best of their ability to get some kills. The Iberian cavalry over on this side got a little too close, and they are getting caught out and just melted. I mean, that Thessalian cavalry barely touched this unit of Iberian cavalry, and they are just absolutely melting them. This unit of Iberian cavalry charged in to be able to try and support themselves against the Thessalian cavalry, but with 65 kills and 1 loss so far, they have absolutely demolished that Iberian cav. Luckily for Lusitania, that cav is still alive, but they are hurt, so we'll see if they're going to be able to accomplish too much later on in the battle. Over yonder, you can see that the Odrysian Kingdom has sallied out a couple units of their own cav. We've got 2 units of Thracian cavalry moving around the battlefield, looking for a good opportunity to move in and start harassing some of the attackers' units. But at this point, the attackers just need to break a bunch of holes in the wall, get their entire army inside of the walls, and ignore the cavalry. There's no point in fighting the cavalry in this case. They have a lot of different units to be able to continue to defend themselves. This is a great opportunity to be able to get back inside of the settlement and get away from that cavalry, and it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to start trying to get away as quickly as possible, including their general. The Great Giant Ballista is going to stay outside. I don't know if they're going to leave any troops to defend it or if they're going to dismount it. and leave it for a little bit, or maybe they'll just trust that their cavalry is going to be enough to be able to defend their Greek giant ballista as well. I guess only time can tell. But the Thessalian cavalry, now cocky, as they should be after doing that much damage against the Iberian cavalry, is facing off against the Iberian cavalry, awaiting for their next charge, awaiting their next movement, so that way they can hopefully demolish them yet again. Adresian cavalry is now moving around the flank, getting behind their opponent's army, getting behind Nabatea and Macedon, trying to look for an opening to be able to go in and start throwing as many projectiles into the fray as they possibly can. Again, just trying to do as much damage as they possibly can. Maybe take out some range units, maybe take out some cavalry, do some damage to some armored desert hoplites as well. Only time can tell. On the inside of the settlement, we're starting to see a couple of troops pop up. We've got a unit of spears with 2 chevrons. We've got a unit of veteran shield warriors and a unit of mercenary falksmen so far. But I'm sure that there's going to be a lot more units inside of the settlement as well. So far, we got the Thoreo spears and the thorax swordsman having successfully taken over. I don't know why it says the tortoise, but the arrow tower over here, it is now in their control, and it looks like the thorax swordsman is going to quickly move over to the gatehouse to be able to take that out as well. Try to neutralize any and all threats that they possibly can before they move in on the rest of the armies facing off against them in this battle. Lusitani still circling around like a shark. We actually have the Thracian cavalry trying to get a couple of volleys off, trying to do some damage to the armored desert cavalry. They're going to run away. Are they going to throw? There we go. They're going to throw some volleys into it, take out 5 armored desert cavalry so far, and just continue to try and harass them. Circling around, giving them a little bit of a cock tease. Let's see, will this cavalry throw another volley? I see 1 projectile thrown, and there we go. The rest of the volley has been thrown, taking out another 10 guys, 11 dudes. They're really just trying to pick off that cavalry so that way the rest of the Lusitani cavalry as well as the Thracian cavalry might be able to have a really good opportunity to move into the rest of the army and hopefully get some of those archers and those weaker troops. If they can take those guys out, that is going to be a huge turning point for the defending forces. The balance of power is even, guys. It is basically dead even, or so it looks. So it is anybody's game at this point. Odrysian Kingdom, both Odrysian Kingdom and Lusitania are both very lightly armored units. So if these cavalry can successfully take out a whole bunch of the range capabilities of the attackers, then it's going to be looking pretty for the defensive forces. They just have to be able to take out that range units. We got a lot of volleys coming in from the nearby thorax swordsman. This cavalry is going to go ahead and run away with 19 kills so far. They are just trying to butcher this armored desert cavalry with 45 out of 80 men remaining. The Lusitani cav is still nearby, looking for an opportunity to move in and try to get some kills, but the armies are slowly but surely, piece by piece, moving their army inside of the settlement to be able to try and defend them. And we've also got the towers actually shooting in and doing a ton of damage to the spears unit. Now, it is a cheap unit. It'll break relatively quickly, but still, any kill that's free is a great kill, especially if you're the attackers, because you have less of a chance to be able to get quote-unquote free kills than the defenders do, whereas the defenders have oil, they have towers, if they're allowed, which usually they're not because they cause severe lag, deployables as well. All kinds of different options to be able to do a lot of damage for free, because it doesn't cost anything to bring towers or to bring your wall. You automatically get the wall. It doesn't cost anything for deployables, doesn't cost anything for the oil from the gatehouse, so on and so forth. We also have a guerrilla warrior outside of the settlement as well. He was stationed over here, maybe he was stationed further out, and he just moved out, and there we go. We see another unit showing up from the abyss. We've got the Thracian Royal Cavalry. We've got the towers frantically trying to shoot at them, get rid of them, but they are now here. The Thracian Royal Cavalry is here to be able to try and support their troops as much as they possibly can. The guerrilla warriors are going to go ahead and try to charge into the Desert Heavy Lancers to maybe get some volleys off on them, but they are about to get completely surrounded. This Thracian Cavalry has been caught out. They have 32 men remaining. Will they be able to get away, or will they fall? 30 men, 28 men. They are falling pretty quickly here. So I don't know. We've got the Nabatean general about to charge into the guerrilla warriors as well. And if they don't send in this Thracian royal cav, this guerrilla warrior is going to absolutely get demolished. And it looks like they are. Oh, where's the Pila? No! And the guerrilla warriors didn't even have their Pila. Didn't even get to throw their Pila. And the general, being a Nabatean noble cavalry, just did a ton of damage on that charge. And then the desert heavy lancers charging into them while they were already down just absolutely melted that unit. And now that unit is going to completely and utterly disappear. What a waste of a lot of gold. Oh man, yeah, these poor Lusitani guerrillas, they are going to break. They still have their flag, so there's a chance they might come back, but it looks like the desert heavy lancers are going to continue to chase them, so I don't think that they're going to continue to stay inside of the battlefield. This unit of armored desert cavalry with 7 men remaining has completely shattered, so the defenders have successfully taken out 1 unit of cavalry so far, but their unit just got caught up again against yet another unit of desert heavy lancers. I don't know if this Thracian cavalry has any ammo left, but if they do, they need to stay alive and keep on harassing whatever units that they can. The Lusitani player still has 1 unit of cavalry. It looks like we had maybe some cavalry. No, that was from archer fire. Where is the other Lusitani cavalry? Did he fall back? That is, oh, he did. He went inside of the settlement, and now he sees a great opportunity to be able to get into some mercenary Cretan archers. This could be huge for the defenders. The Iberian cavalry is going to charge right into these mercenary Cretan archers, taking a lot of these archers down with them. The archers are going to quickly try to get out of there, but the cavalry is going to try to do as much damage as they possibly can. Well done. A great move by that cavalry. And now they're going to go ahead and pull back now that the archers have fallen back to the rest of their troops before they take too much damage. And that cavalry, ooh, that volley. Oh, man, that's got to hurt. It's going to do a lot of damage, but they are going to retreat and live to fight another day, and hopefully they'll be able to find yet another great opportunity to do exactly what they just did, because they are going to need to take out some of those ranged forces. Over here, we've still got the cavalry from the Odrysian Kingdom on the outskirts of the battlefield. We've got the depleted unit of Thracian cavalry. We've got the healthy unit of Thracian cavalry, and we got the unit of Thracian royal cavalry outside, circling like sharks, looking for a great opportunity. But Nabatea still has basically a little over a half a unit of desert heavy lancers and their entire unit of Nabatean noble cavalry general. And we've got the Eastern Scorpion quickly turning around to be able to start firing at the Odrysian Kingdom cavalry as well. So he'll continue to weaken them and hopefully break them and keep them from being able to move into their back lines. It looks like the Lusitani cavalry, the Iberian cavalry, were looking for an opportunity to potentially go in. Maybe seeing an opportunity to go after the mercenary Cretan archers. Man, these guys got trashed by the Iberian cavalry. Well done, Lusitani. But he decided not to go into it just because there's so many different units nearby. We got a unit of thorax swordsmen and a Nabatean swordsman with javelin capability. A Thessalian cavalry, which we've all seen what they just did to the previous cavalry. It was not pretty. And then we've also got a Thoreo spears and an armored desert hoplite. Yeah, I don't think they would have been able to get too far, especially with how depleted they are, into those archers. So they're just going to bide their time, wait, sit back, relax, and await their grand moment to be able to hopefully take out a whole lot more archers. But we've got more and more troops pouring in. All kinds of archers. We've got a the Greek giant ballista crew inside now as well. I don't know if they had any range with that Greek giant ballista over here. They're going to go ahead and pull it back in just because they're not going to be able to defend it properly against all of the cavalry that the defenders have brought. So they have the Greek giant ballista, all of their bows, a lot of their infantry inside, and they're still going to leave a lot of infantry on the outside, facing away towards the cavalry. And we've even got the torts being moved up as well. I don't know if they're going to break any more walls, or if they're just moving them up to be able to have them close by as another option. They could potentially move them all the way around and maybe hit here, or even up here, or over there, if they wanted to. But, yeah, we'll just have to see. Now we got a unit of veteran shield warriors. I'm not sure if they were getting up on top of the gates. They are. They're going to go ahead and get up on top of the gates. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe just making sure that the gates don't get taken by any of their opponent's troops. We've got a unit of Thoreo spears moving up onto the wall. So the veteran shield warriors might be getting placed there as a deterrent against anyone trying to come and take this gatehouse, because they definitely want to keep this gatehouse. If that gatehouse can start shooting their arrows at anybody that comes anywhere close to them, that'll be great for their army, for their forces. Over on this side, we've got some mercenary Falksmen defending valiantly alongside some veteran shield warriors, a lot of very lightly armed soldiers. But they are going to hold valiantly against any troops that start to try to move up against them. We got armored desert hoplites, which are now being focused down by ballsack slingers. That's right, Lusitani's going to be bringing some ballsack slingers today. A great unit to front fire on anything, because no matter what they shoot at, it will die. They are a fantastic unit to bring to the battlefield. And now the armored desert hoplites are going to begin to fall slowly but surely, one by one. And if those ballsack slingers can take out an armored desert hoplite, then that'll be looking pretty for the attackers as well. They also have it stationed up there to be able to fire into the archers, although they are heavily outnumbered. So if Nabatea decides to bring all 4 of his archers to bear and start shooting at the ballsack slinger that's on top of the walls, he will quickly fall. So he's going to have to be very, very careful about that. But slowly but surely, the attackers come. This spear unit is completely exposed. He can get flanked really easily. I think this is also the victory point as well. But yeah, he is completely exposed. This unit of Thorax Swordsman can come in and surround him. This one can pin him down, and they can just completely melt this guy. Now, of course, if there's any ranged units, they can shoot into the back of the Thorax Swordsman, but it's a regular spear unit. Yes, it has 2 chevrons, but it will break relatively quickly. In my experience with these spears, they're not an individual holder. They're not going to do that much damage, so we'll see. But yeah, it looks like we actually have some ranged units starting to focus down these veteran shield warriors, which is an over 700 gold cost unit. A really good unit if it's just inside of melee range against a lot of different things, but it's going to take a lot of damage. Just it doesn't have any armor to be able to defend itself against these troops. But now we've got the Rhodian slingers up here. They're ready to be able to try and fire into these guys and take them out. Now we've got the Restless Slingers starting to fire in. We've got 3 units of Ballsack Slingers as well as a unit of Thracian Peltis over on this side, ready to fire at anything that gets too close. The Nabatean Archers are actually going to start moving closer as well. We've got 4 units of Nabatean Archers, which if they get too close, they are going to absolutely melt some of these slingers. The Balearic Slingers, the Iberian Slingers, any sort of slingers that are here, the slingers are going to start focusing fire on them, but as soon as those archers start firing into the slingers, these slingers are not going to stand a chance. So we'll see. I mean, I'm rooting for the slingers. I'm hoping they'll be able to do some damage, but yeah, those archers are going to put a number on those slingers, especially because these slingers are out of ammo, and yeah, they are starting to be killed piecemeal, one by one. Iberian slingers taking the bulk, which I guess is the ideal situation for Lusitani in this case, as long as the Balearic slingers are still alive and firing into the archers. This unit of archers took a lot of damage, 94 out of 120, and now they need to focus on the other archers and get them back, get them out of here. The Iberian Slingers are just sitting here, taking the fire, taking as much fire as they can. We got Thracian Warriors in the front, and now we've got cycle charges from the Mercenary Falksmen and from the Veteran Shield Warriors as well. These cycling charges, especially against armored targets like the Armored Desert Hoplites and the Thorax Swordsman, all they have to do is just continue to cycle charge over and over again, piece by piece. And we got the Peltis trying to get into a good range to be able to start firing into these troops as well, forcing the archers to fall back because of the slinger capabilities. Man, these slingers actually doing a lot more work than I had originally expected. I'm very proud of them. These slingers are kicking ass. But yeah, they're just going to continue to cycle charge. We got some mercenary veteran hoplites starting to move into the fray as well to hold back the Thorax Swordsman and keep on getting those cycle charges off. 34 kills so far in the Mercenary Falksmen, 75 men remaining. They are a cheap unit, a very cheap unit. They are not going to last for super long. And we've even got a cavalry force that utilize this gap to be able to try to get inside of some of these archers, doing some damage to some of the mercenary Cretan archers, having how many kills before they fell? 84. Not too bad for an Iberian cavalry, because they're not that expensive. And now we've got a regular spear unit trying to get into some of these archers as well. They're about to get pinned by some of the desert hoplites. He needs to move these spears around and get around these thorax swords, because now they're not going to be able to get into the archers. He needs to go around, go after these thorax swords. He might take a little bit of fire, but if he can quickly break those thorax swords, it'll be looking really good for the Idrissian Kingdom and Lusitani. Over on the outskirts of the battle, we've still got some cavalry, the Thracian cavalry and the Thracian royal cavalry as well. I'm not sure where that other unit of cavalry went. Maybe he saw a good opportunity to move in, or maybe he's trying to move all the way back around to get inside of this gate. Either way, he is not to be seen currently. We might be able to see him later on, though, but it looks like the primary fight is over here on the left side of the battle. Looking at it from the defender standpoint, it is the left side. From the attacker standpoint, it is the right side. The spears are going to go ahead and try to hold off against the desert armored hoplites, get into a good position so the slingers can start doing some work. The mercenary Rhodian slingers with only 13 kills are starting to move up. All of the slingers need to turn their fire onto those Rhodian slings and completely melt them, and it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. The Rhodian slingers are going to try to get on the wall, but they're an expensive unit to lose, and so now the Rhodian slingers are just going to get absolutely melted by some slingers, and potentially break from the battle, and that's going to be an expensive unit to lose to slinger fire. So far, we got 63 kills on these guys, 97 kills on these guys, 15 kills on these guys, so the Slinger's doing a fantastic job. And now Nabatea and Macedon are pouring in. We've got a little bit of troops being transitioned over this way. This unit of spears is just trying to do whatever they can to hold back these forces. We've got a unit of Lusitani guerrillas actually utilizing their ammunition to be able to fire into the armored, or the desert heavy lancers with over 120 kills now. But we got Thracian warriors and veteran shield warriors now charging in to be able to finish that cav, take them out, and get them off the battlefield. We also have a unit of veteran shield warriors coming in to engage with the Thorea spears, keep them from being able to fire down on their troops. A spear unit coming in to hold off this thorax swordsman and keep them from moving in. And we've got a lot more forces here in reserve, ready to move in at a moment's notice. A lot of Thracian warriors going to be able to move in and get a lot of kills. The veteran shield warriors with 126 kills so far. These guys are doing a fantastic job over on the left side of the battlefield, really utilizing their troops to the best of their ability and getting as many kills as they possibly can. And the ballsack slingers, I don't know if they're getting a little greedy. I would almost keep them back here because you don't want them to get focused down from the archers. The archers utilizing their ability to shoot over things, utilizing it to the best of their abilities, so that way they can focus fire on any and all of the slingers that are over here. But now the archers are going to start focusing on the mercenary veteran the mercenary veteran hoplites and the veteran shield warriors. Veteran shield warriors having no armor will absolutely be melted and destroyed by those archers. But they have fought very, very valiantly, gotten a decent amount of kills, so it wouldn't all be for naught. It wouldn't all be a waste. We got Thracian Peltas here nearby as well to be able to throw some ammo. We'll see how much damage that they can do. We got some more Thracian Peltas moving up to be able to try and get some volleys off, maybe on those archers. If they can get close enough, they can start getting a lot of kills on the archers, but I'm not quite sure what they're shooting at. Oh, yep, they are going to go ahead and shoot at the archers, the Nabatean heavy archers, try to get as many kills as they can. They are getting focused down, though. They need to get their volleys off quicker. If they've got quick reload, now is the time. Throw as fast as you possibly can, and now they're going to get caught out by the Nabatean swordsmen, which are going to move around this unit of mercenary veteran hoplites and start getting into these Thracian Peltas, and after being decimated, they are going to go ahead and fall back and live to fight another day. Over here, the mercenary Falksmen with 72 kills, kept doing whatever they could to be able to get some kills against these forces. We've got another unit of Thracian warriors quickly moving up to be able to try and take out some more thorax swordsmen over on the left side, but so far so good. They're doing a good job of holding off over there. Over on this side, we've got Thracian warriors ready to be able to charge in and swap places with the veteran shield warriors, try to take out these Thoreo spears. We got another unit of veteran shield warriors moving in, trying to go into this unit of Thoreo spears, keep them from firing, and so that way they can hopefully break this unit of hoplites. If they can break this unit of hoplites, they can completely surround these Thoreo spears and just shatter them. Now got another unit of the unit of Thracian warriors quickly charging in, and they should be able to get a lot of kills and finish off this armored desert hoplite as they're doing. A great unit to be able to finish off. Over on this side, we got the Thracian warriors. They have broken only 31 kills. Over on this side, the defense is starting to crumble. We got thorax swordsmen. 3 different units of thorax swordsmen starting to pour through this hole. They need to start getting some more troops over here, like a veteran shield warrior. They need to turn around and be able to support their troops. They've got a unit of Balearic slingers still with ammo on the walls that are about to get charged by thorax swordsmen, so they need to start moving some more forces, and it looks like they are. They're going to go ahead and start quickly trying to move up some veteran shield warriors over onto that side to be able to help defend this location. And the mercenary veteran hoplites are going to get surrounded and break here quickly. Hoplites are awesome, especially as a frontline holding unit, but as soon as they get surrounded, they are going to break super quick. But yeah, we do have a unit of veteran shield warriors going to quickly charge into this unit of thorax swordsmen and try to break them before they break their friends. But their friends are taking a lot of damage over here, although they are successfully breaking a unit of thorax swordsmen as well. Over on this side, this unit of mercenary veteran hoplites are still holding, but for how long? How much longer are they going to be able to hold? Only time can tell. We got the Iberian slingers trying to get some shots off on the archers. The veteran shield warriors are taking the ammo for their slingers while the slingers try to fire at them, but they need to move out the Balearic slinger as well to start getting some fire on those archers if they really want to start doing a number, because an extremely depleted unit of Iberian slingers isn't going to do enough work against those archers for it to be enough. And now we've got the unit of Thessalian cavalry in the fray now, ready to be able to start doing as much damage as they possibly can. The Thracian warriors are going to go ahead and try and take this tower and utilize its abilities to try to get as many kills as possible. They're going to charge into these armored desert hoplites, get as many kills as they possibly can with that charge bonus, and just keep on cycle charging or basically playing ping pong, bouncing from one place to the other, trying to get as many kills as they can. But in this case, they are going to get melted. They definitely overextended there a little bit, but now we've got the Thracian Royal Cavalry, which are active. I'm just going to assume that they utilize a refresh ability with one of their generals. This Thracian Royal Cavalry is going to go around and try to get over onto these range units of Nabatea. We've got a unit of Levy skirmishers outside of the wall inside of towers where they will potentially glitch out a ton, and hopefully they'll be able to do a lot of damage. But now the Thorax swordsmen are engaged with the veteran shield warriors, trying to break them so they could continue to move into the settlement. The Thracian warriors didn't really get too much of a charge into that one, but they are holding the line against the Thorax swordsmen. So now the veteran shield warriors are gonna swap against, so the Thracian warriors can try to get a proper charge out this time. Somehow these mercenary veteran hoplites are still holding and still getting kills. These armored desert hoplites. Oh, the Balearic slingers are getting charged by the general. No, run, Balearic slingers, run! The general is on your butt. Go, go, go! Mass click, frantic click, frantic click. But yeah, the armored desert hoplites over here have shattered. And it looks like the defenders are going to temporarily retake the side, but for how long, I do not know. The Lusitani guerrillas are going to go ahead and move back while the veteran hoplites are still holding, still trying to hold back these units. We've got the mercenary folksmen trying to charge in and get their charge bonuses off, trying to get as many kills as possible. And the Thracian warriors are going to go ahead and charge into these Thorax swordsmen, continuing to cycle charge with the rest of their forces and try to get as many kills as possible. We've also got a light peltis from Macedon moved up to be able to start putting down the hurt on these not armored forces, and lots of fire going into that cavalry, trying to get rid of it so that way it doesn't pose any sort of problems in the near future. 1 second, guys. Let me go ahead and take a drink. Oh, man. My throat is extremely itchy right now. Hopefully I don't sound too bad. I didn't realize that the Thracians actually ended up bringing a Thracian Royal Cavalry General instead of a not a Peltas. What is it called? A veteran Thracian warrior? Something like that. The Uber Thracian warrior general. I'm really surprised that they brought that instead of the really good Thracian warrior. Because those guys can get a lot of kills, but I'm really hoping that this general cavalry is going to be able to do a number and get a lot of kills, as many kills as they possibly can. It looks like the Ballsack slingers have been caught out by the general. The Royal Peltas of 142 men remaining. This is a really good shot for any Peltas or any slingers that are nearby too. If they can start getting shots on that general, if they can snipe that general, it's going to be huge for the defenders, because it's just going to cause a huge morale debuff for a lot of the troops that the defenders are fighting against. And there is a gap right here. There's a slight gap right here. If the cavalry that's right there, the depleted cap, can utilize that, they can move through this gap and then potentially move this way and get into the archers. They probably won't be able to kill any, but they'll still be able to weaken them and distract them for just a little bit, which would be huge. And these Thracian warriors are getting melted by archer fire. Ooh, 51 out of 160 men remaining. That has got to hurt. We've also got the Lusitani noble general starting to move up to the front line, getting ready to be able to hold the line. After a valiant fight, it looks like the defenders have lost the left side. Excuse me. And now we've got the remnants of some Thorax swordsmen, armored desert hoplites, a general unit, a little bit of everything starting to move in from that left side, and the defenders are going to have to move something up, but they are starting to break. They're taking a lot of losses. We're seeing a lot of wavering over here. We got one unit that just broke, one unit that's starting to waver and break, and we're seeing a lot of units devoted towards this front line, so we'll see. So far, there is a gap, though. The veteran shield warriors are going to go ahead and charge in, try to get a charge off, try to stop some of this range fire from actually going into them. The general, while this unit is holding them off, the general's going to go ahead and charge in as well, utilize some of its abilities to hopefully break some forces. We got some Nabatean swordsmen, we got some breaking from some guerrillas, but we also have Nabatean swordsmen starting to break. We got another unit of Nabatean swordsmen that's taking a lot of damage. I mean, overall, just Lusitani having charged in their elite units like this is causing a little bit of a breakage for the frontline Nabatean units, and that's exactly what they need. If they can break more of these units, they can charge up and potentially get into those archers, stop that archer fire, and win themselves the day. Now we've got the nobles turning around while the veteran shield warriors are holding off these forces. They're going to go ahead and turn and try to get into some of these archer fire forces and try to keep them from being able to fire into them, because they are taking a number from that archer fire, but they are going to be stopped by a unit of Thoreo spears. I don't know how much kills they're going to be able to get, because you've got 4 units of Nabatean heavy archers and whatever else is firing at them as well. It's going to be a really rough one. Over here, we've got 2 units of Thracian warriors ready to hold the line and continue to cycle charge if these guys decide to push over on this side. We've got the Lusitani guerrillas, which are still somehow alive, being charged by the Nabatean cavalry, which is being focused down by some of these Balearic slingers. They might have to go ahead and move up a Thracian warrior over here to stop this general from moving in too much, because if that general continues to move, he's going to be able to take out this Balearic slinger and stop him from firing. And at this point, the defenders need everything that they possibly can at this point to be able to try and do as much damage as they can. We got Thracian Peltas being thrown into the backs of the Nabatean swordsmen, trying to keep them from breaking the Lusitani nobles. We've got 27 out of 160 men remaining. The general is dead. Lusitani is starting to break from the battlefield. Their general has died. We've got the general unit, the Thracian Royal Cavalry, trying to break through these armored desert hoplites, but to no avail. We've got a unit of mercenary Falksmen going around the flank, and this other unit of Thracian Royal Cavalry charging the flank, getting rid of this Eastern Scorpion before it can continue to get too many kills. And now the cavalry is going to go ahead and charge right into this unit of Nabatean swordsmen, causing as much havoc as it possibly can. This is a great opportunity for it to move right up the middle and start supporting some of its troops. Over on this side, we got Thracian warriors fighting against the armored desert hoplites, now getting focused down by the archer fire, which is exactly what the attackers need to do. They need to fire into these lightly armored troops and absolutely melt them. We got another Nabatean swordsman moving up, being charged by the general, being held back by the Thracian Peltas, which is now breaking. We still got the Balearic Slinger nearby, trying to do whatever it can to get as many kills as they can. We got a lot of cycle charging going to the Royal Peltas general. Again, if they can kill that general, they're going to cause a huge mass break. The cavalry, the Falksmen are still doing some work against the swordsmen. We've got the Nabatean noble cav starting to move back after engaging with so many different units. The Thessalian cavalry has 47 out of 80 men remaining, 150 kills, doing some work this battle. The Thracian Peltas say, fuck this shit, I am out, and they are going to go ahead and skedaddle and leave this battle. The Thracian Peltas, or the Thracian warriors, are trying to get rid of this Royal Peltas. He is still alive. If they can kill this Royal Peltas general, they can potentially cause a mass rout, which is exactly what they need in this battle. But I've seen the Thracian warriors do some crazy things, so hopefully they'll be able to do some damage. These armored hoplite not being able to get into hoplite wall are going to be charged by the cavalry and by some Thracian warriors. Thracian warriors are trying to hold them back for as long as possible. We've got the Ballsack slingers starting to break. We've got some Nabatean swordsmen starting to break. If the Thessalians start to break, then this is going to be a completely open battlefield to get rid of all of those archers and potentially cause a mass break. And now the general is going to go through this gap and start to get into all of these ranged units and get rid of them. And that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to charge into all of these ranged units and just try to get rid of them. Maybe cause a mass rout, because if they can, that would be huge. They're going to go ahead and charge into the Scorpion as well, keep it from being able to fire, and then potentially move over to the left to be able to start taking out some more ranged units. But is the general still alive? 46 men out of 80 remaining. He is just playing ping pong. He is starting to break some more Nabatean heavy archers, which are presumably out of ammo. But again, if they can break those archers, they can potentially cause a mass break. This unit of mercenary Falksmen is still alive, but just barely, trying to hold back as many troops as they can. We've got some Levy skirmishers starting to break, but we also have some Thracian warriors starting to break. Thracian cavalry inside of the Thoreo spears trying to get some kills over here. I don't even know what the Thoreo spears were doing, but the Thracian cavalry are going to go ahead and charge it into the heavy archers, and again, just try to get these guys out of here, try to cause a mass break if they can. It looks like the general is still alive, I think. No, the general just died. 30 out of 80 men remaining, but they are causing a lot of breakage from a lot of different troops as well. We've got some Thracian Peltas still alive, still trying to fight. Balearic Slingers still alive, still trying to fight, getting as many kills as they can. We got some more breakage going on by The archers, the Thracian cavalry with 252 kills. The general's bodyguard charging into some of the Thraeus spears, just trying to get rid of them. We've got 181 kills on them so far as well. They're just bouncing from one place to the other, just trying to break as many units as possible. Again, just trying to cause a mass rout, because that's exactly what they need to do. General's bodyguard starting to break some more mercenary Cretan archers. These guys have 185 kills so far. This unit of Thracian Royal Cavalry are starting to break as well. They need to charge back in and start killing some more people. Get back their gall to be able to fight. Charge right into these troops. All right, they have come back. There we go. There we go. They're not breaking anymore, but the general's bodyguard is broken. He is gone. This cavalry is starting to waver again. He's going to try to move around to be able to potentially get into this archers again. Again, just trying to break these archers and cause a mass rout if they can. But the cavalry is going to break, and that is going to be the end of the battle. Holy smokes, with a victory for Chairman Mao and Raifu. Let's go ahead and look at the kills here. We got Chairman Mao being first place with kills with 2,548 kills. We got Raifu second place, 1,982. Donald third place with 1,863. And Centurion fourth place with 1,754. Chairman Mao doing a great job getting 150. The archers doing really good job against the lightly armored troops of Lusitani and the Ardrosian Kingdom. 192, 184, 160, 158, 122, 128, 164, 190, 176, 153, 139, 208, 109. Centurion doing a great job with 105, 150, 144, 160. We've got 186, 140, 127, 249. And then looking at Raifu and Donald. Raifu with 228, 192, 193, 191, 134, 122, 102, 213, 169 giggity. And then we've got 211, 307, 119, 133, 171, 105, 157, 106. A great job for both teams. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.